Good evening, everyone. Can you all hear me? And you can see the screen. Just confirm. Okay. Thank you for the confirmation. Fine. So, thank you for coming for this recap session. Today we are going to discuss about the general provision and the obligations of the employer and the contractor. Then we will go to the subcontractor and supplier. Okay. Every one of you, do you have your FIDIC grade book with you? Yes. Good. So we'll go to the okay. We'll go to the remember there's some information available in the FIDIC. If you have time, okay, read it. They have some guidance. What we are trying to do throughout the advanced use practice and contracts management, we are trying to learn completely this book. Plus, we are trying to understand how to implement in practical scenario by understanding the shortfall which is already there in the book. So if you see throughout the complete lecture series in the post contract, we will discussing many time, okay, same subclauses in a different scenario. This books was developed by not one person. There are many people involved in developing this particular version. But not every, we can say, sadly, not every people involved is the right people. There are some other people exist in the industry. They supposed to be in part of that. Okay, but unfortunately the people who are involved, they are great, but there are greatest people also still outside. Okay, anyway, that bring a lot of issues as well, because see, there are so many mistakes we will see during the lecture. Okay, no one perfect. And this is a timeline what Pidik says. Okay, we are going to see this timeline through the whole lecture. We will see. But remember, they have this timeline. If you see 7 days, 28 days, 56 days, actually it's a multiplication of number 7. Okay, so we have a week that is 7 days. So that's all multiplied by number 7. So that's what. And you might have why 28 days? Why not 32 days? Right? Why not 60 days? That number is they define. Okay, there's no harm if you want to change the number in your contract, you can change it. Understand? So these even sometimes they are selling as soon as practicable. These all you can change as you want if you understood. Okay, so this is the content. How many subclause we have in the FIDIC? Do you aware about that? How many? I'm talking the main
21.
subclauses. 21. Okay, is it correct? I'm not asking the 2017 version. Okay, I'm asking about the 99 version. So how many subclause we have? 20 subclause. Okay, so you see this one. 20 subclause, that is claim, dispute, and arbitration. So throughout the lecture, what we are going to cover almost every subclauses. I'm preparing the to make sure what I'm saying we are covering all the subclauses or not. I'm preparing the mapping. Okay, I'm preparing myself to make sure okay we cover everything. So I'm preparing a mapping. So definitely, if I miss any subclauses, I'm going to cover it. Okay. So if I want to show you what I'm doing, let me on some information here. You don't see right now anything. Okay, just be aware with me. If this mapping that I'm going to show you, It's for my satisfaction, not for you. But I'm just doing that for to make sure. Okay, I'm happy that we are covering. See, if you see the whichever I'm marking, keep on marking. Okay, we are keep on covering. So now last two lecture, if I update, okay, there is a so many information the FIDIC we covered already. Okay, so you can see, and that's how I make sure. Okay, we are covering all the sub clauses here. Okay, so it's still we learn about the force major that I didn't update it. So if you cover the last lecture, then we have covered some more sub clauses. So likewise, I do that mapping to make sure okay we do our best in this program. And consequently, the program also increased by a number of modules. Now today we will discuss about the first general provision. Okay, so there's no notes. Let us understand through the FIDIC itself. So let's go to the subclause number one. Okay, the general provision. Now, what is the general provision purpose? Do you understand why they put the subclause? What is the objective of the subclause? Number one. What do you think? John? It's fine, whatever the answer. Definition, very good. General provision, definition. So they are trying to give the
To
definition.
describe
Okay.
the meaning of the word is specifically used for the in the contract to
Yeah,
avoid
right.
any ambiguity between the
Correct.
parties.
So they are giving the definition. They are defining the words. Rather than you assume, they define what it is. Now, say for example, in the condition of contract, these conditions which include particular condition and this general condition, the following words and expression shall have the meaning stated. That means you don't assume, just check it here. The words indicating the person or parties include corporation and others legal entities, except where the context require otherwise. So they are clearly saying you follow this definition. Now let's say what is a contract? What is a contract agreement? Letter of acceptance, letter of tender, drawing. What is a drawing? Say let's say simple word, right? We are using drawing, but capital D, drawing means the drawing of the works as included in the contract and in any additional and modified drawing issued by or on behalf of the employer in accordance with the contract. That means they have defined what do you mean by tender. Okay, what is apprentice to tender? What is a BOQ? What is a day work schedule? So now the all the definition, okay, all this definition is defining many information. If without learning this, you don't learn the FIDIC. Okay, that is very important. What you must do now, let's say variation. Now variation mean any change to the work which is instructed and approved as a variation under subclause 13. Right. Okay. Now let's go to the FIDIC yellow book. Okay. Now we have the red book. That's what we are reading. Okay. This is a FIDIC yellow book. Now let's go to the yellow book and see what this is. A yellow book for what is a procurement route? Red books for a additional designed by the employer. It's clearly mentioned in the first page. Right. See here. General condition guidance for the preparation of the particular condition forms of letter of tender. So the condition of contract for construction for building and engineering works designed by the employer. Okay. Now what did he say? Condition of contract for planned and design and build. Designed by who? Designed by the contractor. Okay. So the responsibility different. So who's designing the project under the red book? Who's designing? Employer. And under the
Employer,
yellow book? Under the yellow book?
contractor.
Contractor. Right. Now, why I am showing this? There is something you have to be clear. Okay, don't be generic. After this program, you don't work as a generic QS. Okay, that's not your intention. You have to be very specific. Now let's go to the definition clause. Okay, same definition clause. We are going to see the definition of the variation. Okay, so here look at this one. Variation mean any change to the employer requirement or the work which is instructed or approved as a variation under clause 13. So did you see the some changes in the definition? It's not same as that, right? It is not same as that because the meaning is different here and there. So what it is saying here, any change to the work, that is variation. But what did it say here? Any change to the employer requirement. So do you understand the difference? The yellow book, any change to the employer requirement only considered as a variation. But under the red book, any change to the works considered as a variation. That is a different. So every Vedic version, you have a slightly difference in the meaning. Now further, if you want to understand, okay, let's go to the subclause. What is the subclause for the variation? What is subclause number for variation? Main subclause 13. Let's go to the 13. Okay, all of you go to the 13. The red book. Okay, you go to the red book. Okay, I go to the yellow. Okay, now see the red and yellow. Right to vary. Okay, now let's go to the okay, right to vary. Okay, they are. If you see, each variation may include A, B, C, D, E, F. You will not see that one here. Means the definition very correctly say any change to the work. Okay, this is a change to the work treated as a variation. Here, no. Only the employer requirement change that only variation because employer give the design responsibility to the contractor. Unless otherwise employer requirement change, there's no variation. So try to study very well. Slightly the terms and conditions are different. Once you went through this FIDIC red book very deeply, any book you reading, you will get the very crystal clear differentiation. Do you understand? What is your job? You are a QS, right? Only your job is QS. So studying properly make you better, and when you go for a competition, the market or job hunt or performance, you will have your own reputation. Okay, because there are so many quantity surveys now existing in the construction industry. Also, there are so many people coming on because you might not be aware, but I am aware as I am in the academic sector also. So many people, okay, they see the demand for a QS and they are rapidly trying to come and take this position everywhere. But as long as you are very strong, you will be having the more potential to defeat them. And also RICS perspective, 130,000 above the members are there around the world. But what we are trying to do, existing members, you can't challenge them if you are not greater than them. So throughout this kind of training and trying to make you better than them to overcome or challenge even whenever you face them in the interview or any competition, you might win from them. That's the objective. All QS after some time they forgot many things, right? So practice make you better. So now let's go back to what we have discussed. The definition. The first target is, can you have a peace of time in a peace of mind? Can you read everything and trying to understand yourself? It is very simple. Now we have yesterday learned about the one word party. What do you mean by party? Employer and the contractor. Okay. Now engineer. Now why doesn't talk about engineer? Engineer means the person appointed by the employer. That means he will come under whom? Engineer comes under? employer. Okay,
employer.
so no need to. Yeah, he is not a contract party. So what about the engineer? Have they any different contract with the employer? What do you think? That's the engineer has a different contract with the employer. Yes. What is the book they are using? What is the color of the book? Do you aware about white book? Okay. So I am not sure. Yeah, it's white book is here. Mm, yeah, white book. Okay. So they are using the white book for a consultancy agreement. If you want to see, I just open and see. Okay. So see, client or consultant model service agreement. This is a white book they are using for uh, consultancy service. So be aware, every books are not same. Okay. So if you open the FIDIC here, okay, it look different, right? And how many sub clauses they have? See here. Is it 20? I think they end up with 8. Okay, then they are their own terms and condition. Okay, so that's very simple. They have a different agreement. But what we are learning, the contractor agreement. There's a one agreement, consultant agreement. If you learn this one, is it hard for you to understand other one? What do you think? That's not hard, right? It's easy. So let us understand. So look, study this definition. Every sub clauses. Now let's say randomly we go to the sub clauses. Okay, down. Now let's say the contractor, capital C. Okay, is it a defined word? Capital letter coming. Is it a defined word? Works. Is it defined? Contractor, capital, subcontractor. Is it a defined? Okay. Or contractor. Okay. Now this is defined word unless it's a capital letter. No. Okay. It is a grammar. Particular condition, PC. Is it a defined word? Okay. So now I have one question to you. So all the capital letter is a defined word. Yes or no? All the capital letter. See, they are having the capital letter. So all the capital letter is a defined word. It's all capital. What do you think? Everybody answer yes or no? Okay. So many people are now saying no. Why no? Okay, there's a reason. There's a reason. Not all the capital letters are defined letter. Okay. If you go to the subclause 1.1.3.9, the day and the year is a defined word, but is it in capital? What do you think? No, isn't it? Therefore, the FIDIC somehow be careful, as I told you in the introduction. Not every capital letters are defined, not a defined word. Also, they have the simple letter also as a defined word. So if you see some FIDIC subclause, okay, there you have the capital letter, but you don't find the defined definition for that one. Do you understand what I'm saying here? You don't find some capital letter definition within the definition. Like I say, unless, okay, unless that word start as a capital letter, but there's no definition. Likewise, without grammar mistake also, they have put some capital letters where you don't find the definition within the definition clause. So do you understand what I'm saying, everyone? Okay, good. Okay, so this is a general provision. And remember, okay, don't assume goods mean not only the material. They are telling plant and temporary works. Now, if you want to understand what is a good mean, actually it's covered the contractor equipment. So contractor equipment is here, okay? It's covered contractor equipment, material, it's covered this one, plant and temporary work, plant and temporary works, okay? So remember, material is a wide
Railways,
coverage.
nickel.
Okay, so there's a wide coverage in under the this definition. So we can't just say it's a material only, isn't it? It's defined clearly. No, goods mean not material. Exclude these all. So likewise, these definitions are okay. You will see throughout the all FIDIC subclause. Okay. Now interpretation. So there's another thing given. Words indicating one gender include all gender. So there's a norm. Okay, gender issue here. Word indicating a singular also include the plural, and words indicating the plural also include the singular. So they have given. Okay, now there's a communication. Communication means it's very important subclause. We will learn under the subclause 20.1. Okay, communication. Even you are sending the email also. Sometime if it is a uh, email, okay, I'm not talk about the mail. Email also is a record. It's a communication. Okay, it's a formal communication. If that defined in your contract, so it is clearly say wherever these conditions provide the giving or issuing of approval, certificate, consent, determination, notices. Okay, these communications shall be. What do you mean by shall be?
Obligation.
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 Very good. Yeah, that means you have to oblige. It should be in writing. That's say in writing. It's not say verbal. In writing. In case you receive anything as a verbal, okay, in writing and delivered by hand, okay, that's fine. And delivered on sent or transmitted to the address for recipient communication as stated in the 10 appendix 10. Oh, however, if the recipient give notice of another address communication, that's okay, that's fine. But the thing is, in writing, you have to send the notices or whatever. So as a contractor, there are so many notice provision compared to the employer. Okay, so many notice. Most of the objective of the notice is to make the other party aware. Okay, like a warning them. There are something coming on. Be ready. So that's the objective. So they made a lot of things. And priority of the document. Okay, these are one many people confused, and they argue blindly about this priority of the document in the realistic so many cases. Okay, the document form the contract are to taken as a mutually explanatory of one another. For the purpose of interpretation, the priority of the document shall be in accordance with the following sequence. So first, contract agreement, letter of acceptance, letter of tender, particular condition. See, particular condition or general condition, which is superseded particular condition. Okay, these have more power than the general condition. Then the specification, drawing, and any schedule. Schedule may be any BOQ or any other documents. Okay. Now let's say there is a contradiction between the drawing and specification. Which document you will take? Specification. Don't assume like that. Okay. If any ambiguity or discrepancy is found in the document, engineer shall issue any necessary clarification or instruction. Is that any say which is the superseded one will take over? Is there any say you have to follow the priority order? He say priority order, but did he say if there is an ambiguity, okay, go ahead with the priority order? Is that mentioned? Yes or no? Did you see anything like that? That means there's no such things. The industry thinks, okay, you follow the priority order. No, FIDIC doesn't say. Why they didn't say? Say sometime you made the drawing correctly, but in the specification, what you do normally, you copy paste. No, you do the copy paste. Specification, they do copy paste. So maybe there are some mistakes. Drawing is correct, maybe specification wrong. Okay, or maybe vice versa. We don't know. So that the engineer must clarify it, which is correct. You don't assume it. Okay, super. The order wise. Okay, this is the one correct. Don't assume that one. That's what it says. Now, let's say there's ambiguity happen. Okay, there's ambiguity happen, and contractor asking for additional money because say he didn't price that difference. The most of the engineers say no, according to the priority order, you have to follow okay this one or other way around. They might come up with the argument, but in realistic no, this argument will not work. Okay, who prepared the contract document? Who prepared the contract document? Contractor or consultant? Consultant. Okay, otherwise
Consult.
employer. You can say employer or employer agent. So who's responsible for the mistake within the content? The employer. Okay, employer or ultimately his agent. So you cannot punish the contractor for your mistake. It is called contract profundum. The court will see against the person who draft the contract. The court will see against or in favor of the opponent. They will see in favor of the contractor only, not in favor of the employer in this case. Okay, so it won't be a um, uh, the contractor has the probability to succeed with that argument. But in the industry, they have the misunderstanding or follow the order and all. It will not work. So, what is best things to avoid the unnecessary ambiguity things? Okay, there are conflict avoidance. There are conflict avoidance techniques we have. You should avoid the ambiguity or discrepancy between the documents. To do that, you have to okay place the right people. Can you bring the junior QS to do this kind of contract drafting? Is it possible? Okay, they will do if you ask, but is it workable? It will bring so many problems, isn't it? You have to appoint the qualified people. You have to give the time, right? Use the standard document. Throughout the FIDIC learning, we will found so many mistakes, so many problem. Okay, so what about your bespoke contract? Definitely you have a lot of problems. So you should have the experts on board. It's not a junior level QS work. Okay, so that you need to understand. Then this 1.9 we will discuss everything. So what I am trying to say, the subclause 1 is a general guidance. Okay, you must read it. How many page it is? Okay, it's less page only. It's not too much. You must read it. If you read, there, okay, you have the a good understanding about its meaning, interpretation, how we have to okay handle the situation. Okay. Now the second part of this today discussion, obligation. Now the obligation, if you see the sale, okay, one is if I type sale, how many we found? How many such on top of the you know entire page? 947, right? Okay, let's say contractor. No, let's start with the engineer. Okay, okay, Mr. E. Okay, now, how many engineers here? Don't, okay, think this only the obligation. There are obligations, so many obligation hide. So, engineer obligations, okay, define as a engineer sale, simply, isn't it? Now, what about the employer? Employer, employer sale. How many? 57. Okay, you know the number, right? 74, 57. Okay, now let's see. We have seen so many sale, right? 947. So engineer 74, employer 57. What about contractor sale? So we have seen 947, right? Can you take your calculator and deduct this whole number? Okay, just deduct the number 947 minus. Okay, we have seen engineer obligation is 74, and we have seen employee obligation is 57, and we have seen the contractor obligation 251. How much remaining now? Right? 74, 57, 251. For me, 565. Yes, 565 remaining, right? So do we need to search them? Okay. So do you understand what I'm trying to say? Don't just search the contractor sale, employer sale, engineer sale. You just go through this. You will find so many obligations. If you don't obey the contractual obligation, okay, what does it mean? If you don't obey, say contract says sale, okay, there's obligation mentioned. ABCD, like you have 257, say, let's say 250. You don't obey one of them. What does it mean? It's going to be a
Breach contract.
breach of contract. Yes. Go to the 15.2 and see what it says. Okay, it's a breach of contract. Any of the one, okay, employer sale, engineer sale, going to be breach of contract. So the rights and obligation, one party rights become other party obligation. Do you understand? The one party become other party obligation. So if that contractor sale applied six, okay, to the engineer 6 copies. So what is the contractor obligation? 6 copies. You need to give the 6 copy, right? Any documents, whichever regard. So is his obligation. Now the second exercise, what I want from all of you. Okay, I'm stop the screening. Sorry, screening stop now. Just give me 1 second. All of you, what you need to do? I just guiding you. Okay, I just guiding you. In a one Excel. Okay, sub. Okay, sub clause number. Okay, you just mention the sub clause number. So whatever it is, put a sub clause number. Okay, let's say, okay, obligation. Okay, obligation. The obligation may be either you can have the drop down, either employer, okay, or engineer, okay, or contractor, okay, or there's a possible all. Okay, there are some obligation for all. You will find it. Both parties have to obey. So if you can, the proper exercise I'm talking, okay, proper exercise, go through, okay, maybe if you read, if wherever you found sale, okay, the sale, it will be highlight easily, okay, here, see, now general condition, okay, sale how, the expression sale how the meaning stated. So is it whose obligation now? Everybody should agree, no? So it's all, right? Okay. Now next one, where it is, okay, sale not taken into the consideration. So common, must obey. Okay. So you whatever the things you understood, okay, write it in a one word, subclause number, and put it. Okay. So notice the communication shall be in writing. 1.3 says whose responsibility? Who's obliged to do? Tell me. 1.3 shall be who? Contractor, engineer, or employer, or who?
Employer.
All.
General.
Yes. So it's all. Yeah, it's all. Because the determination issued by the engineer. Notices can be issued by the contractor or keep mic mute. Okay, the contractor or engineer or employer. Concern, certificates, approval, mostly by the engineer. So it is connected by both parties. So they have to follow this obligation in writing. So let's say the engineer is given the verbal instruction, but according to 1.3, does the contractor has a right to ask in writing? Yes or no? He has the right to ask in writing. We will learn under the subclause 20.1 when we are discussing. Okay, this 1.3 is very important subclause. Contractor has the right to ask the engineer to give in writing. He doesn't, okay, not only defend himself, he has a right. He has a right to ask. If you can list all them, okay, if you can list, let's say you are writing the subclause and also one thing, description, you add the description. Whatever you understanding, describes and okay, make it description. I'll make it a little bit big, okay. So description, put a subclause number, write whatever you understanding, what you understand. Put the either employer, right, or maybe another employer. You just enter one time, it will come automatically in the Excel, or use the drop button. Just use drop button also you can use. Now once you done one filter, okay, you will understand all the obligation of the contractor, all the obligation of the employer, all the obligation of the engineer, all the obligation of the common. It will be perfect for you to have the very crystal idea. Do you understand what I am trying to say? Every one of you. Do you understand what I am trying to say? Okay, in that case, if you understood, either you work for an engineer, okay, you must understand what is your responsibility. Either you work for a contractor, you must understand what is your responsibility. Or you work for an employer, you must know. Other than that, on common, you must know what is your obligation, right? So if you understood what is your obligation, are you going to be more perfect to deliver those obligations compared to now? You don't know what your obligation, isn't it? But compared to now, once you do that exercise, are you able to shape yourself? Yes, better, isn't it? Now, if you do that exercise, I think the batch number 20, 21, 22, you might have the good idea now. And 23, 24, yes, you are just started to learn. So yes, definitely by the time we are completing this program, you have the good idea. Whatever you write in the description, any mistake you found, you can correct it also. The result is very best. Okay. So this is the exercise I want you to do by going through with all the subclauses. You try to understand what is your rights and obligation. So you don't need to search for rights, because one party obligation is other party right. Do you understand? Employer shall pay the contractor. So employer shall. What is that obligation? Obligation for whom? Let's say employer shall
Employee.
pay. Say, employer, yes. So what is the rights? Employer shall pay. So whose right that is?
Contractor.
Yes, contractor rights. So do you understand? Same pattern. If you don't search for a rights, search for obligation, then automatically opponent have the rights. Okay. So do you understand the task I am giving you? So please do that. Confirm everybody, because I see only one or two people messaging. Are you all understood what is the task? Okay, I am expecting you to do. If needed, take the screenshot. Okay. Subclause number, description, whatever they understand. Okay, only one, three. Let's keep only three. It will go very long list, up to 1,000. Okay, we don't know. maybe more. But one filter, you can go to all the things. Okay. Yes. Definitely it will be more because sometimes the obligation not come as a sale. It will be right in a different form. Okay. So do that one. Also don't go beyond the subclause because there are some sometime you see this one. Let's go down. Okay, this is coming under this. Leave this. Okay, no need to do. Stay up to. Don't go to the annex and all. Hmm. Okay, you should step. Okay, when the subclause 20 is over. Okay. You should stop once the subclause 20 is over. No need to go thereafter because it will be tedious. And once you read, you will see the difference. This exercise takes time, but once you read, you will see the difference. Okay, what is that? Where is the information stated in the contract? What information? Can you explain? Okay. Any others have any question on what I said? Okay, anyone? If any question, ask me. Otherwise, we can go to the next module. Okay, hope all understand. Anyhow, what we do during our lecture, we are learning. Okay, we are marking. We are going through all the subclauses. I told you we have the mapping. So even you do or not do, we will do. Okay, every subclause we are going to touch. Every class you attend, you do that small exercise. Okay, end of the class, you do this one. Okay, you have your file ready. So that is ultimate, but it takes time. But if you do this way, it is faster. If you go for an interview, okay, you are very confident because you know what is your responsibility. Okay, where is this information? Can you open your mic and elaborate, or can you type what information you are expecting? I really didn't get. Oh, anyone understood what he's asking? Is Mahmoud J. Ali Mahmoud? Sorry, Mohammed Ali Mahmoud. Yeah, what is his question? Anybody understood? Sorry, I didn't get this. Okay. So, fine. If no question, shall we go to the next module? At least we can cover up some extent. Yes? Or any questions? Fine. Okay. Let's move on. Okay. So, subcontractor and suppliers. I will share this slide to you. I think already you have it, right? Everybody I shared already. It's a recap session, not a new session. Yes, everyone must have this one. Confirm me? Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead. So subcontractors and supplier. Okay, so do you have your FIDIC with you? Without FIDIC, there's no class. Okay, so all the class you come, you must bring your FIDIC. And there itself you have to mark highlighter. Okay, no, but if somebody not receive, send me the message. Okay, send me the message. I will check it whether you received or not. Then I will send it. Okay, so now let's start. Subcontractor. Okay, so who is subcontractor? So according to the definition subclause, as I told you, definition subclause. Okay, 1.1.2.8. What is the page number? At least page number. Okay. Let us understand very carefully. Okay. Subcontractors means any person named in the contract as a subcontractor or any person appointed as a subcontractor for a part of the works and the legal successor entitled to each of these person. Okay. Now in subclause 1.1.28, what we are reading this one, the name subcontractor is say named, right? Named in the contract. That means named subcontractor. Do you understand? That wording is come here. Okay. The named subcontractor. And also appointed. Any person appointed as a subcontractor. It is a meaning of domestic subcontractor. Okay. And the subclause 5.1 definition of the nominated subcontractor. What is the page number? Subclause 5.1, 21. Okay. So what it says in the contract, okay, it says, okay, in the 5.1 nominated subcontractor. So accordingly, okay, accordingly, uh, we have three different types of contractor. One is a name subcontractor. Another one is just a subcontractor, that means domestic subcontractor. Another one is a nominated subcontractor. Okay. So we have three types. Okay. Now, do you know what is a domestic mean? What do you say domestic mean? Domestic subcontractor, not a
Contractor,
local.
subcontractor.
Yeah, contractor, subcontractor. Yes, very good. Contractor, subcontractor. That means the subcontractor appointed by the main contractor. Yes, that's true. Without any interference of the employer. Now, what is a nominated subcontractor? He is brought by the employer. Okay. Now, what about the named subcontractor? Is it domestic or nominated? Hmm. It is a okay. The nominated subcontractor is a subcontractor, but the domestic subcontractor also subcontractor. What the name is the one either domestic or okay or nominated one. Now to answer that one, now who is stated in the contract as being a nominated subcontractor or whom the engineer under subclause 13 instruct the contractor to employ as a subcontractor. These are nomination. Okay. Now domestic subcontractor chosen by the contractor without any direct involvement from the employer. Actually, they are own preference. So it is very clear it is in favor of the contractor. Now let's have the proper understanding. Now let's understand nominated subcontractor. So nominated subcontractor is the one brought by the employer or employer agent. So that employee specify or directly nominates the nominated subcontractor. Now the named, when come to the name, okay, the name subcontractor. Is the name contractor will come under the domestic or nominated? Okay. To get the understanding, okay, to get the understanding, okay, according to the subclause 5.a, all of you go to the subclause 5.1a, okay, page number 21, right? Okay. Mark that one. Who is A? Okay, A. 5.1a. Uh, the contract, the nominated subcontractor means a subcontractor who is stated. Stated. Can you mark that one? Okay. Now, stated mean what? Stated. You mark that one. Okay. Stated means it is mentioned in the contract. So therefore, a named contractor, okay, named contractor is a typically synonym, right? Synonym or similar word with the nominated subcontractor. This means the subcontractor, okay, this means the subcontractor is specified or stated or nominated by the employer, all same meaning. So what is that mean? Answer now is a subcontractor will come, the name subcontractor will come under domestic or nomination. What do you think? Will come under
Nomination.
nomination, yes. So the concept of the name, okay, let us understand the concept of the named or nominated subcontractor. Why, okay, employer bringing them? Because maybe they specialized work, okay, they have the specialized knowledge or skill set, okay, or some kind of a critical part of the project where you can't entertain with the general contractor. So you need to expert and also reliable people, okay. Also sometimes uh, the employer, okay, particularly if they have any preference or good relationship with some contractor, okay, they want to take from uh, some job done from those people. So this domestic subcontractor in favor of the main contractor, whereas the named or nomination or stated contractors are in favor of the employer. So it is interfered by the employer. Now the key difference between the nominated and the domestic subcontractor. If you see the selection, who's selecting the nominated subcontractor? Yeah, employer. What about domestic? Who's selecting?
Contract.
Yes,
Contractor
contractor.
selecting and
Okay, now contractual relationship. Okay, nominated contractor has a contractual relationship with whom?
Contractor.
contractor.
Okay, there are some answer employer. Okay, no, it's the contractor. He's just appointed. He is introduced and appointed by the employer, but under whom? Under the main contractor. There's no contractual relationship directly with the employer. Okay, otherwise you are splitting the contract packages. Not both. Not both. Okay, single answer only with the contractor. So try to understand. This is a subcontractor. He is brought by the employer to get the some particular task. Okay, but they are not directly contracting with the subcontractor. The employer, they will subcontract under the main contractor. We learn, okay, how the process going to happen. So the domestic definitely contracts relationship with the main contractor. There's no doubt, but the people got misunderstanding with the nominated subcontractor contractual relationship, isn't it? To give you a little bit more clarity, okay. Now you give the entire project to the main contractor, okay. So contract signed for an entire project. Now you bring the subcontractor, let's say nominate a subcontractor. Now you want to get this particular task by this contractor. Now, are you going to do it under the main contractor, or are you going to do it separately directly with the employee? In that case, that's if you go directly separately with the employee, this contract becomes split. This is a different project. This is a different project. Do you understand? There's no wording you need to use subcontractor. Both are become main contractor to the employer. But here, okay, you want to get the job done from the particular subcontractor, but not as a separate contract. Because if you are going for a separate contract, let's say this contractor also will have the site office, you also, this contractor also will have the site office. There's a duplicated arrangement will happen. It's a costly for the employer. So what they will do, they will they will bring him under him, okay, as a subcontractor, and he allow them to do work on top of his fees. He will take his profit. That's all. Okay, now just for a time being, if you understand the contractual relationship, that's fine. We will learn about that further. Now, responsibility of the performance. Whose responsibility? Who's having the contractual relationship, right? Who's having the contractual relationship? So, contractor. But not completely. There's a limited. There's a limited. Okay, we will learn why limited. Um, Domestic contractor, any problem, performance issue, it is purely a main contractor problem. But let's say a nominated subcontractor, okay, brought by the employer, not performing well, not performing well, and if that situation continue further, maybe project will go under the delay, and the employer will charge against the contractor liquidated damage (LD). Okay, so in that case, what main contractor can have? One of the provision, terminate the employment of the nominated subcontractor. Now let's, he can do with the even domestic also if the performance are not correct or not according to the contract. Now, if the domestic subcontractor terminated, finding the another domestic subcontractor is who's responsible?
Contractor.
Yeah,
Contractor.
contractor responsible. But when come to the nominated subcontractor, when the nominated subcontractor terminated by the main contractor due to his fault, replacing the another nominated contractor become whose responsibility?
Employee.
Employer. Okay, that is a limited. That's what I say limited. Why? Employer cannot apply the LD because contractor will say you brought him. It's not my person. You brought him. I employed. Now he can't perform the job. I can't continue with him. So it is contractually what I am saying. There's a sub clauses for that. We will learn. We will learn that also. So any delay is an additional cost. So in that case, he terminate the main subcontractor and finding the new contractor and bringing them until that there's any delay happen, there's a idle happen to the main contractor. It's employer fault. And what about any delay or something happened by the domestic contractor fault or something? Who's responsible? Who's contractor? Okay, see, that is a difference. Okay, that's a difference. So further, claims. Okay, now you have to focus. I'm going to give you many information on these slides. Claims against from the subcontract against the subcontractor or claim from the subcontractor. Both are possible. Now let us understand claim from the contractor. That means claim against the subcontractor, which is coming from the contractor. So there are many situations, okay, that could arise a claim against the subcontractor or claim from the subcontractor. Now, for example, subcontractor maybe don't fill, okay, their contractual obligation. What they can do, right? They can delay the subcontract work, okay, or sometimes subcontractor can damage the main contractor work. So repairing the damage, whose responsibility? Main contractor responsible, right? The main contractor is the one need to give the project. So he will repair, but who must pay for that repair? Do you think employer will pay? What do you think? Subcontractor. So that is a claim against the subcontractor. Or sometimes subcontractor work is defective or poor workmanship. Okay, subcontractor work is not good. That means defective or poor workmanship. It is not up to the standard that project needs. So repairing that subcontractor task or work against it's a claim against the subcontractor. Or sometimes subcontractor didn't finish the work. If they don't finish the work, project will be delayed. Then the LD will be very high. So contractor will complete the work, which is negligence of the subcontractor, and it's a claim. Okay. Or sometime because of the subcontractor, the project got delay, and the employer imposed the LT. That LT become contractor claim against the subcontractor. Okay. So I have told you there are uh, five different points. Have you noted? Delay to the subcontract work, repairing the work damaged by the subcontractor, or repairing the subcontractor defective or poor workmanship, or completing the subcontractor work they have negligence or they didn't finish on time, or imposed delay damages due to the subcontractor delay. These are the five points that main contractor in general there are so many other claims also there. Okay, they can claim. Okay. Also, now in that case, the subcontractor, okay, made a issues or didn't follow the contractual obligation, and the contractor, okay, make a claim against them. So what is the cost or what are the heads of claim in typically? Do you know? Do you know what are the heads of claim they can ask for? Can you tell at least five? Any heads of claim? Just tell whatever you know. You can text it. Okay. There are delay. Okay, let's say delay happen. Now you have to give the accommodation for the subcontractor, right? The accommodation for a subcontractor person or personnel or employee or labor. So accommodation, transport. You have to give the transport, right? Sometime you have to clear the subcontractor. Okay, leftover things. So clearing the subcontractor work, cleaning actually, or you are going to give the access of the scaffolding or tower crane or whatever it is. So access you are going to give. That access is costing the main contractor. So access facilities, okay, for access for scaffolding, let's say. And sometimes you have to give the tower crane, right? The lifting equipment, tower crane, or something like a storage, loading facilities. So these things, heads of the claim. Again, unless until the subcontractor move from the site, you have to provide the utilities. So what do you mean by utilities? Water, electricity, internet. Okay. Oh, these all utilities are heads of the client. Okay. Or sometime you are going to give the office facility, not only the accommodation, office space and the site facilities, right? So these all heads of the client. Sometimes you are giving plant and equipment. Sometimes if the subcontractor come, there must be attendance from the uh, main contractor, right? Someone should be manage them or supervise them. So those attendant fees also heads of the client. So these cost sometime very high. Okay, so if you found any scenario that going to cause the claim against the subcontractor, you have to send the notice. Make them the early warning. Subcontractor, you are doing something wrong. You will be get a claim, and don't do that scenario, rectify quickly. So as long as you give the early warning, they can rectify the issues. Otherwise, they maybe not aware. So notice provisions needed. Other way around, contractor, main contractor. Come again. Can you all hear me? Just confirm. Can you all hear me? Can you all hear now? Okay. So I just joined from the different device. I don't know what happened. So let's continue. What I am asking, what are the circumstance? Okay, what are the circumstance? The subcontractor will make a claim against the main contractor. Can you name some kind of claim? Every one of you. Payment delay. Very good. Payment delay. Yes. Yeah, yes, there are something. They delayed payment or yeah, payment delay is a one kind of a claim the main contractor will face from the subcontractor. Sometimes access delay, late access. Okay, and also sometimes late changes or late information. Sometimes say they are going to instruct the variation, but that in variation something different from the original task. But the main contractor didn't say on time. The subcontractor already procured material. Okay, and it is delivered. So such things will come as a contractor subcontractor claim. So late changes or information. There are so many types of claim. In FIDIC, officially, there are 50 plus claims are clearly say this is a contractor claim. Likewise, there's another 50 plus subclauses like a thief. Okay, they are hiding and they are not saying it's a claim, but it's purely claim. Some of the clauses, okay, subclauses we will discuss during our lecture. So there you will understand what kind of subclauses are hiding and without telling it's a claim, but it's really a claim. Okay, fine. So with that understanding, now there's a FIDIC concern about employing subcontractor. Why sometimes the subcontractor need to be in the project? Because the one reason they are having the very expertism on particular area. Let's say the subcontractor only specialization, you can say. So they are handling only the specific task. So they become experts. So they do the unique work. So compared to the main contractor, you can get the better product with the better quality with the less price. Okay. And second thing, workload distribution. So because of the subcontractor, yes, I want to confirm. My voice is better than before or something worst. Okay, good. So workload distribution happening because if the all work done by the main contractor, sometimes there is possibility of delay. And also these people expertise in particular area. So giving the work packages to the subcontractor, right? It is distributing the workload against the main contractor. Okay, so it will be good to complete the project for faster. Okay, in a better speed it will go. Then third one we can say risk management because every task have its own risk. So you are transferring the risk to the subcontractor, and also the subcontractor can give you the uh, cost-effective solution. They can give the better price. Sometimes hiring the subcontractor is more economical compared to the work done by the main contractor. Okay, then sometime the particular location, let's say some particular license, okay, needed. Say for example, you are entering into the design and build, okay, procurement route. Whereas you don't have the design team. Now, if you hire a sub-consultant or a contractor who can have the design team with the license, right? It's easy for you to manage. Otherwise, you can't build it from the scratch. It takes time. And also, the subcontractor part of the supply chain. The benefit of the supply chain, right? You have the continuous business, good quality, less price, right? And multiple business. You have a kind of a networking, you can say. So one after one, you will get the project. And also, some contractor say you are going to go to take the project in a very specific location. They are you never done any project, so they have the local area knowledge where to get the material, where to get the labor, what's the best price they can. They do better than you. So the where the main contractor doesn't usually operate any project in particular location, the local subcontractor can and but when you go for a subcontractor, they are, am I audible or not audible? Okay. So there are some reason. If you go for a subcontractor, there are some problems. There will be some problem also. Okay. So one problem will be mostly, okay, this kind of problem will come with the either domestic or nominated. But where you will see the more problem with the domestic or nominated subcontractors? Where? In which subcontractor we will have a lot of problem? Domestic or nominator?
Nominate.
Nominated, okay. Yeah, nominated. Yeah. So there will be operational conflict. Say nominated contractor operational practice sometime their safety standard, quality assurance may be different from the main contractor, right? So there will be potential conflict, there will be a disagreement, it can be a problem. And the limited influence. Sometimes the contractor might feel Again, can't hear. Okay, 1 second. Can you all hear now? Give me a second if you can hear. Okay, just 1 second. I'm just leaving and come back. Can you all hear me now? Okay, good. I don't know what happened. Let's continue. Okay. So the limited influence will be realized by the main contractor because the subcontractor brought by, especially nominated subcontractor brought by the employer. So they feel upper hand. Okay, because they have direct connection with the employer. So sometimes they don't care about the main contractor. So this will bring a less influence on them. So that's the problem. And the contractual risk, actually, what is that? Coordination issue. Sometimes, if the contractor not familiar with the nominated subcontractor, right? So there will be a problem to understand their operational practice, right? And uh, let's say if any poor performance performed by the nominated subcontractor, unless otherwise you terminate them until you are keeping them under your subcontractor category, any underperformance or any delays, who's liable? The main contractor is liable, so there will be a contractual risk, okay, because of them. Coordination issue also there because they don't know each other, so they don't they have to take some time to understand. So this kind of issue you will find with the nominated subcontractor. Okay, when come to the further challenges with the subcontractor, there's a performance issue. Okay, either it's a domestic or nomination. If any performance issues happening, okay, it's a responsibility of the main contractor. And because of the subcontractor fault, maybe the cost can be exceeded than the allocated budget. So again, that's a problem. So these are the common risks we can see under the domestic subcontractor. But still, you can see these issues are common, and hiring the subcontractor in every project it's happening. Okay. Now, when come to the subclause 5.2, all of you go to the page number 21. Right. So who's appointing the nominated subcontractor? Employer, isn't it? Okay. So in this subclause, what I said, some responsibility of the employer. The contractor shall not mark it, okay, in a way I say, contractor shall not under any obligation to employ a nominated subcontractor against whom the contractor raises reasonable objection by notice to the engineers as soon as practicable with the supporting particular. An objection shall be deemed reasonable if it is rises from or among other things any of the following matters unless the employer agrees to indemnify the contractor against and from the consequence of the matter. Now, what did he say? sometime the main contractor can say, no, I will not take this subcontractor as a nominated subcontractor. I have some problem with him. So what kind of problem? He need to give the evidence. The subclause 5.2a say there are reason to believe that the subcontractor does not have sufficient competence or resources or financial strength. Or second reason say the subcontract does not specify that the nominated subcontractor shall indemnify the contractor against and from any negligence or misuse of goods by the nominated subcontractor or his agents and employees. Or there are another one say the subcontractor does not specify that for the subcontracted work, including design, if any, the nominated subcontractor shall undertake to the contractor such obligation and liabilities as will enable the contractor to discharge his obligation liability under the contract or indemnify the contractor against and from all obligation and liability arising under in connection with the contract and from the consequence of any failure by the subcontractor to perform this obligation or to fulfill. Now, simply, what did he say in the 5.2c? Contractor obligation is a subcontractor obligation. So, subcontractor must safeguard the main contractor. If the subcontract agreement doesn't say he will safeguard, then the contractor don't allow that one. Okay. Now let's go back to the previous now. Look at there are so many scenarios. So that is he doesn't have the capacity or he don't have enough resources to do the work. Resource mean he don't have the manpower. He don't have the skill resources to engineers. Oh, he has financially weak. Okay, contractors check his financial record and it doesn't make any sound. Okay, or the contract doesn't indemnify. Let's say if any delay happened by the main subcontractor, he need to indemnify. Or any damage caused by the subcontractor, he need to indemnify. He need to rectify it, but it doesn't say. That means the contractor will be not happy to employ him. He will reject it. Now, what is the employer left the reason? An objection shall be deemed reasonable if it is arise among other things any of the following matters. It could be ABC or anything. Unless the employer agree to indemnify the contractor. Now employer say, okay, no problem. If anything happen, it must be in writing, okay, not verbal, in writing. If anything happened by the nominated subcontractor, okay, I will take care. Okay. Now, against and from the consequences of the matter, highlight this sentence. Unless the employer agree to indemnify the contractor against and from the consequence of the matter. What is the consequence? Okay, any delay caused. Okay, any delay caused on nomination. Let's say this contractor delay in the project or he didn't perform well after award the project. Now contractor terminating him, finding the new contractor and appointing. So any delay happening during this process, who's responsible? Who's responsible?
Employer.
Employer. Okay, the employer must agree that one. Unless the employer agree to indemnify the contractor against and from the consequence of the matter, ABC, whatever it is, contractor cannot employ, continue with him. Do you understand? So this is a claim against the employer. It could be any delay claims or any other claims. Okay, any other claims because of the fault of the nominated subcontractor. Either subcontract agreement must say, or employer must give a written contract, maybe supplementary agreement that anything went wrong, he will take care. Unless otherwise, the main contractor will not entertain this subcontractor. Do you understand, everybody? Is it clear? Okay. Okay. So we will stop from here. So next Wednesday we will continue this. Again, it's a recap class. So they are I think we have still okay some more slide to close. I think all of you have the notes. I don't want to stress because it is a recap class, and once we finish the subcontractor, then we will see the next module. Okay. So see you all. Thank you for coming, and see you all in the next class. If anybody still not received these notes, I sent already, but in case you didn't receive, just message me. I will send you this. Okay then. So any question before we wind up today's lecture? Okay. If no question, anyhow, still we are not finished with the this topic. So next class you can ask. Okay. So next Wednesday we have the lecture. Same topic we will continue where we stop. Okay. Good night to everyone.